Hello, Laker Nation. It's Mrs. Thornton, the principal here at Lake Region High School. This is pretty exciting. We're looking at how to reopen our building as safely as possible. And I wanted to share with you some of the work we've been doing all summer to make sure that we can make that happen for you. I miss you guys. It's very quiet here. We have Miss Wilson usually is here with Miss White, and I get to see people, but I miss you guys a lot and look forward to a safe return. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share a slideshow with you guys to kind of explain what we've been working on for the last probably 3 months. A lot of behind the scenes work with the entire district. So welcome back. One of the first things I need to share with you is we have a new start date. Originally, we were going to start in early September, but we are pushing our start date back to September 14th. And that allows us some time to really get prepared for you guys to come back. It gives us time to work on our schedule, and I think it's going to help everybody out kind of getting prepared mentally and physically to come back to school. So, as I said, we've been working a lot this summer. The maintenance crew, Mr. Madura's group, has been doing an amazing job cleaning the building, making sure it's all the high touch areas have been sanitized. Teachers have been working on how to improve that remote learning experience. What we were doing in the spring was more of a kind of a crisis or emergency learning. But when we move into the fall, we are looking at a real true blended remote learning opportunity where teachers are working on best practices and engagement. And then of course, as I've mentioned, planning for a safe and healthy return to school. So there's going to be some things that are different this year. There's no doubt about that. But at the heart of it, our Lake Region High School core values will remain the same. We have a commitment to providing a high quality education for all students, a commitment to building strong relationships with all students and families, and finally, a commitment to providing a physical and emotionally healthy school environment. So when we make our decisions moving forward, this is what we're looking at, making sure we follow these core values. So the CDC has given all schools guidelines on how to reopen, and we are following those. So there are 6 that I'm going to go through quickly. Down here at the bottom, there is a link to the more extensive document, but I want to highlight a couple things that we'll be doing here at Lake Region High School. First of all, symptom screenings will be conducted at home. You guys are all high school students now, so this is important responsibility for you parents. We look forward to you guys kind of helping them with this process in the beginning. They'll have certain questions they need to answer every day, and then do temperature checks every day. So I think if we make that a routine habit before the kids get on the bus or before they enter the building, we'll be in a good space. Also, we will be socially distancing. We are looking at the 6 feet distance in between each student. We're looking at the social distancing 6 feet guidelines for classrooms, common areas, and hallways. There will be signs everywhere. It's going to feel a little bit like Hannaford. There'll be some arrows on the ground where we're making sure the students know which way to walk up and down the hallway, making sure they remember to wash their hands, all that kind of good stuff. So 6 feet distancing will remain in effect. I'm sure everybody's aware of this, but masks and face coverings are required for all staff and students, except for lunch. And then this is important. I know for my own daughter, she was worried about this. There will be mask breaks throughout the day frequently. So it's not like you come in with your mask on and then it's on until you leave. So we'll go through some protocols and procedures about mask breaks, but like I said, they will be frequent, they will be safe. But we just want to make sure everybody is aware that that is something we are definitely building into our day. For those of you who can't wear the masks for any reason, please reach out to me and we can discuss the option of a face shield. 4th guideline is hand hygiene. We were talking about this even before we closed in the spring. Staff and students will be trained in proper hand hygiene. Encouraged and mandated to wash their hands frequently throughout the day. There was hand sanitizer everywhere in this building, bottles in every classroom. There's the stand-up kiosks everywhere. And then, as mentioned, we'll do some training with kids frequently throughout the year to make sure that they're all taking this very seriously. 5 and 6 are more about, well, 5 is more about the nurse and making sure that we have enough protective equipment for everybody. And then finally, there will be an extensive COVID student handbook coming out soon, and it has every guideline that you can imagine that was created by a team of teachers, administrators, and parents. Okay, so switching gears a little bit here. When you return in the fall, if you are coming back to the building, you will be in the building 2 days out of the 5. You will either be in one cohort, which will come to school Mondays and Wednesdays, or the second cohort, which will be Tuesdays or Thursdays in school. And those cohorts are made geographically by where you live. So we can kind of cut down on the amount of space the buses have to cover because we are adding a second bus run. There are the exception, there will be some special education programs and vocational programs where students will be here more frequently. You will hear directly from us if you fit in one of those categories. So as I mentioned, most students will work remotely 3 days and then be in school 2. One of the biggest differences from the spring is attendance is 100% mandatory. It's not optional. Every single day you will be required, we will be taking attendance, and obviously if you're in the building that counts, but remote attendance is mandatory, totally 100% mandatory. And then, as you guys could imagine, the plan will be refined as new information comes. So things change daily, but we're hoping this is gonna stick with us. So this is new. So for freshmen, it's new to you, but for the upperclassmen, this is a new schedule. And the purpose of this schedule was to reduce the amount of stress that you guys were feeling trying to juggle 7 or 8 classes remotely. So what we are going to be running is, it's called a 4x4 schedule. And I'm going to show you what it looks like so I can explain it a little bit better. But each class is going to be 80 minutes, which is pretty similar to how we just ended up. Another big difference between the spring and now is we're going to do our traditional grades. So there's not a incomplete, a pass, or pass with distinction. We're going back to 1 through 4s in the classroom, and then on Infinite Campus for your final semester grade will be a 50 to 100. So grades are back. So I will show you the 4x4 because it's very exciting. But first, I'll talk about the advantages of it. So as I mentioned, this schedule really cuts down on how many classes a kid is taking per semester. It allows for students who didn't finish classes during COVID to remediate them. It allows for kids who really did a great job and want to push themselves. It allows them to accelerate and get through classes, more classes in a year. Math we'll talk about, that's going to be a little bit different. And then this actually allows for us to be able to do electives in person. So I hope this doesn't look too daunting, but I mentioned this before. This is what a cohort A schedule would look like. Kids are arriving Monday and Wednesday. When they are home on Tuesday and Thursday, they're doing asynchronous learning. What the heck's asynchronous learning? It means that you are not live with a teacher. You have your assignments and you get through those on your time in that day, because that's the attendance. You have to get your work done. Here's a kind of just a mock schedule. Kids will be arriving between 7 and 7:30, and dismissal time is a little bit different as well. The first buses will leave at about 1:45, so that's 15 minutes earlier than in the past. And again, I know I'm saying this a lot, but attendance is required. That will be important. And then need to make sure that kids are checking their emails, because that's when they're home remotely, that's going to be a way that we are communicating with them. Opposite, as I mentioned, if you're in the other cohort, you are home Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday, Thursday would be your in-class time. And then everybody, doesn't matter what cohort you're in, Friday is a remote day for everybody, and we will give out more specific details about the breakdown of the schedule for those Fridays. Attendance is required for Friday too. I know I say it a lot. Okay, so here's the sample schedule of the 4x4. This is the new way we're going to do things for this school year, and I love it. Okay, so semester one, you will take an English class, let's say, and it only goes for semester one. So English 1, if you're a freshman, English 9, will meet every single day for 80 minutes, whether you're remote or in person. So 80 minutes every day. So we're taking a year-long class that meets every other day, and we're putting it into one semester and meets every day. It's great, right? So you're finished with the English 9, semester 1. So essentially, you'll take 2 core courses, semester 1, with 2 electives, and then semester 2, you'll take 2 totally different core courses and more electives. So as you can see by this schedule, semester 1, whether you are in person or remote, first period you'd have, let's say, English 10, then you would have geometry, and then you would take Spanish, and then you would do an elective. So you're only responsible for 4 courses a semester, which I hope will take off a huge amount of stress on your plates, because juggling, as I said, juggling 7 or 8 classes was a lot. We've made sure math meets every day, because that's one of those classes where we wouldn't want you to go a whole semester without that, because the consistency is super important. Okay, so, and for those students who were here last year, just imagine this. All of your Blue Day classes would meet on semester 1, and all of your Gold Day classes would be semester 2. So we'll obviously spend more time on this, but I wanted to roll this out just to get you guys thinking about what it's going to look like in the fall. Okay, that's a lot of information. All of this information that I said is also in the letter. That's more about the CDC guidelines. But so this is super important. The last thing we're going to ask is that you guys fill out this parent intent survey. And we need it done by August 14th. The questions are basically around, is your student returning, or will they be doing 100% remote learning? Question about transportation, will you be providing it, or do they need busing? And then a question about internet access. We've asked this before, but we just want to see if there's any updates. The link is going to be everywhere, because it's super important that you fill it out. It's going to really guide a lot of our decisions. It'll be on the school's website. It will be in the parent letter. I will link it in an email, and then I'll put it on our Facebook page. So, whew, that's a lot of information, you guys, but it's all super important. And I'm actually getting very, very excited for this to work for us. So as always, if you have any questions, please email me. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm in the office, so you can call and leave a message as well. But I miss you guys, and I hope all is well. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Miss you.